Welcome back. Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back. The protests. I spoke about them a couple of weeks ago on here. Before we get into all of that talk, which we're going to be talking about today in today's video, please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you like this video. You let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. And don't forget that Linktree link in the description. Also for the social accounts and our previous podcast episodes. But the protests, BlueCo out protests have been initiated. This is what I was talking about only, 2 weeks ago? A week ago? I was telling people that it could get to this. We got to see Tottenham this weekend stage their own protest against their owner, Daniel Levy. We know that Manchester United are doing something similar in their next home game as well. I'm not surprised by this news. I'm not surprised. For anyone that doesn't know, so BlueCo protest, 25th, our game against Southampton at home, Bovril Gate, 6 p.m. outside Stamford Bridge. Protests are meant to be happening now. Some will say, what's the point? Some will say, is it worth it? Some will say, what will the protest change for Chelsea as a football club? What would it do for the owners? We don't know. But one thing we do have to do is try and make sure that this protest, and I'll be going down. I'll be making sure I'm there because I've been calling for the protest. I've been making sure that, this is what, look, no Chelsea fan wants to go and protest against their owners or their club. No Chelsea fan wants to do that. But when you look at the way that this club is being run at the moment, the way that Tottenham have had one domestic trophy in 20 years, Manchester United have gone from Sir Alex Ferguson winning trophies, winning Premier Leagues, winning the Champions League to mediocre, poor football, can't beat Spurs. We don't want to be there. We do not want to be a Tottenham or a United or even Arsenal when you think about their Premier Leagues. They've won the Premier League in how long? We don't want this run of 7 years already at Chelsea, no domestic trophy to continue. And I think any Chelsea fan, will if you're honest about the club, you won't be against. You don't have to turn up if you don't really feel that the protests are for you, or that you don't really believe in the protest. I don't think you should be disheartened that there are fans that want to protest, because like I said last week, we're all coming from a different angle to these owners, whether you're happy with them at the moment or whether you're disgruntled by them and you think that the owners need to do more or whatever the case is. We're all wanting the same goal at the end of it, and that makes Chelsea successful again. None of us want to see Chelsea, mid-table, dropping out of the Champions League, not qualifying for the Champions League, not qualifying for, the best competitions, not even title races. We're not even in that conversation anymore. And it's slowly but surely you'll see, as time progresses, that we will drop off even further. So I'm happy the protests are happening, 25th of Feb, 6 p.m. One thing I will say about the protest is it can't be a one-off thing. We can't do this on the 25th of February and then that's it. Because one thing it will do to these owners is say, right, they've had their protests, we're still going to do what we want. It has to be more than a protest. And what will annoy me slightly again is people will protest and still go to the match. So if you're serious about Chelsea, don't go to the game. Don't buy the merchandise. Don't buy the kits. Don't buy anything from the mega store. If you're that concerned about your club, as you say you are, don't protest on the 25th and then walk through the gates at Stamford Bridge. And I understand it to an extent. You want to support your team. You want to show your loyalty to the players and to the club, more so, to the badge. I get it. I do, 100%. I understand it. But at this current moment in time, and I hate to sound like Gary Neville when I say that, but in this moment in time, we have to look at the wider perspective of things and how things are panning out for this club. We're currently on the downfall of missing out on the top four. We spent £1.6 billion on 38 players, I think, in that region. And we still need more players. We're selling players on. We're seeing players like João Felix going to AC Milan and lighting up the Serie A. We're seeing Renato Vega putting man of the match performances for Juventus. We're seeing Andre Santos do the same for Strasbourg, Petrovic as well. And we have been mismanaged as a club for 3 years now. 3 years. This can't continue. And the more that we feed into the narrative that things are okay, the longer this trophy drought in terms of domestic trophies will continue. So I'm all for the protest. I wish it never got to this. I wish that, things were better. There was signs of progression, but we're 3 years into a project and there's still no clear vision. There's no clear idea. I feel sorry for Maresca. I really do. I said that last week. I feel sorry for some of the players. You can see they came with the ambition, with talent, the desire to do well at this club. And slowly but surely, and I'm talking about Cole Palmer, I'm talking about Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, I'm talking about Christopher Nkunku. These players that came with the idea that they wanted to help this team go even further and win even more things. And you can see slowly that passion, that desire, that hope of trying to get something, winnable, a current team that has spent 1.6 billion, that consistency is still not there with this squad. And that is worrying. So I understand the protests have to happen. They really do. We need to see, this can't be a one-off. The 25th of Feb cannot just be 25th of Feb and let's go back into the stadium and hope for the best. We have to continue to be loud. And what I think the protest will do, it will bring a lot of press to it, hopefully. It will bring a lot of attention, a bit of limelight onto the situation at Chelsea. And it might get these owners thinking slightly differently. Maybe. With the last protest with the Super League, that was very successful. The club backed out. I think we were the first club out of the English clubs to back out and put out a statement to say that we weren't going to join the Super League. So protesting does work. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking, if you're loud enough about something political as well, people will start to listen. Voices will start to hear. Some people don't even know that there's issues at Chelsea and they're Chelsea fans. They might not see the issues that other people can see. I know from a political side of things, there were so much things I didn't know about what was going on in conflicts and war and genocides that were happening. I knew about genocides, but I didn't know to the degree and the context. And when you read into it, you see why people are protesting on those things that are happening across the world that sometimes just goes over people's heads, or they're just not tuned into that. And this could be the same for Chelsea. This could be exactly the same. Some people might not know what's going on at the club. They might not understand the severity of what's happening at the club. And maybe a protest will help bring awareness to that. Because there's so many people that are just going to games or watching the games, and they're not really understanding the greater picture of what's happening. Yes, things are looking okay, mediocre, results here and there, poor results. We're still kind of challenging for top four. But if you look at the wider picture, how much has been spent, what still needs to be done at the club, what's happened in the last 2.5 years, that is not a sustainable project. And you're looking at United now, they're having to make redundancies and they're struggling financially. They've just had a takeover. Ian Ross has just come in and they're already still struggling financially. We could end up in the same situation as United. They're 2 more stops down the road than we are, but we're heading in the right direction. So we have to stop this rot of things happening at this club, nip it in the bud. I'm all for the protest. If you can get down there, get down there. Let's make it a peaceful protest in terms of no violence. Because I think that's another thing. I think if it becomes one of those things where we lose sight of the message that we're trying to get over to the owners, all that's going to be reported in the papers is a chaos. And we don't want that. We want to make sure this is a proper protest that, fans turn up, they hit their voices are heard properly. And let's hope things are addressed at the board level. Let's hope that the owners take this on board and see that us as Chelsea fans, we're serious. We're serious. We want our club to be great again. Let's hope the owners do that. But before we wrap up, I want to talk about some transfer news. Because apparently, according to Liverpool, they are willing to allow Allison, who I still think is one of the world's best goalkeepers, to leave for Mamadashvili to take over at Liverpool. Now, if that is the case, we have to be all over Allison. Now, he said he wants to stay in Europe. He wants to stay in England, potentially. We should be all over it. We should be all over it. We should be going straight up to the M6 now, trying to get that deal done. Because Allison, to me, is He's world class. Now, the only thing I will say about Allison is he does pick up a lot of injuries for a goalkeeper. I think the latest injury was a hamstring injury. Now, that's very uncommon for goalkeepers, but I think if we do not sign, and I don't think there's many other goalkeepers out there, but if we don't sign a goalkeeper next season, even if we do or don't make the Champions League, I think we have to go for that deal. We have to go for Allison. Allison is too good of an opportunity to miss up. We have to go for him. We know that Jurgensen, we watched him against Brighton, we watched Sanchez in the FA Cup, neither of them are good enough. Petrovic, he might not even want to come back. Hepa, I think, will be sold in the summer. Penders, I think we haven't seen much of him. We haven't seen him in the league anyway, at least, so we don't know. But we know that Allison is a proven world-class goalkeeper. And one of the things I keep talking about on this channel is leadership, experience, lack of experience that we currently have in this squad. Allison ticks a lot of those boxes. He ticks a lot of those boxes, and we have to go for it. Now, everyone shot me down when I said we should go and sign Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free transfer. We should be trying to get a right back in because we know that Reece James. I said it a couple of months ago and I got completely shot down. But this one makes a lot more sense. Allison, we have to go and get Allison from Liverpool. If he leaves and he's willing to leave so they can bring Mamadashvili in as their goalkeeper, their number one, Allison's not going to want to stay around and be number two. Kelleher, I think, is a very good goalkeeper, but I think he's willing to sit and bide his time and, maybe might stay out another season at Liverpool. But Allison will want first team competitive football. And for a goalkeeper, yes, he's in that 30 plus bracket age range, but we need someone like that in goal. Someone who is solid and who makes brilliant saves. And he's saved Liverpool a lot this season. So I think we have to go. If Allison's available, we've got to go for him. We have to go for him. We've seen what our goalkeepers are like currently at the moment. We have to go for Allison. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about the protests. And hopefully we get our Chelsea back again. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon.